Hi everyone, it's Rebecca here, and the video I'm recording today is entitled Settle Down. And the reason is because I was listening to one of Michael Neill's Caffeine for the Soul podcasts. I'll put a link below because if you're not listening to him, then you may want to, because he's got some, in just 6 minutes, he is able to distill some amazing wisdom. So, settling down. I've been talking with clients recently, a number of clients who are so caught up in their heads that they really are, they feel completely stuck, that they're able to understand what B and I are sharing, but so intellectually understand it, and then are trying to apply things into their own lives. And the problem with that is that it creates even more thinking, all right? It's creating more thinking, it's creating more judgment. And that is where we really suffer, is then, because we are thinking, why can't I get it? Everybody else seems to get it. I know that this is this makes sense, but why can't I apply it? Why do I forget it? Can you see all of that just makes more and more noise? And what Michael Neill was talking about in this video was, he was talking about when he was doing a demonstration, when he was running a workshop. And on one side of a piece of paper were a whole list of commandments, he called them. So that could be anything that's in our mind, all of our thinking, all of our judgments, all of our conditioning, all of our stories that we've got, the labels we have about ourselves. And this list is never ending, all right? And it's running on loop in our minds if we allow it to. Constantly creating more and more noise and more suffering for us. And on the other side of this piece of paper, which is the opposite of what he was talking about here and what I'm explaining here, he had just those 2 words written: settle down. Settle down. And even just saying those words helps me to just go, oh, yes, I'm caught up in my head. And a bit like when, if you remember back to when you're in school, or if you are currently in school, and there's lots of chatter going on in class, and then the teacher might say, settle down, all right? And slowly people begin to maybe speak a bit quieter, and then eventually it comes to silence in the class. So I'd been listening to this, and then I came downstairs this morning, and I always take soluble vitamin C in the mornings. So I want to show you something, because that's what I start with, is a glass of water. And then I drop that in. Now, you can see what's going on there, all right? It's bubbling away. Now, I'm not going to drink it at that point. I'm going to wait for it to settle down. All right, until all of that noise, all right, settles down. You can even hear it. I can even hear it. All right. And that just, to me, resonated for me, because it was like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Is that we forget that our default is a place of being settled down. All right, the quiet. It may be a long time since we've seen that or registered it, all right? Because it's always there. It's always there. And what I'd love you to see and maybe take from this video is that there is nothing to do. Because the more that we fidget around with it, all right, it's almost like the more if I try and shake this glass in the hope that it's going to settle quicker, that's just not going to happen. Chances are it's going to spill out over the top, which I don't want. So when I say there's nothing to do, all that's required is for us to begin to notice when we are caught up, to notice that the stories that we're hearing, the stories that we're making up, that look like fact, that look like truth, aren't. They are simply this kind of constant loop that we've got ourselves in, that we don't need to take any notice of. And when we begin to do that, we begin naturally to settle down into this quieter space where we then have clarity. All right? So it's like there's still some fizzing going on there, but that's settled down now. And from that space, see what you begin to notice about what's true and what's made up. I hope you found that helpful. I would love to hear back from you, so please do leave a comment below the video. And I'll speak to you again next time. Bye for now.